Alright, gonna wait about 5 seconds here. 3, 2, 1. Alright, bear with me. I gotta get my Chatterino up. There we go. Chat is up. I'll wait till a few people get in here. We'll get started with an early morning special Sunday edition of the Comment Show. I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday, so we are doing it today. Should be fun. Hope you guys enjoy. Got lots to cover today, but we'll get through it. We shall get through it to early morning edition. What's up, Susan P? You are first in. Welcome on in. Doing an early edition Sunday, special Sunday, Cinco de Mayo edition. Welcome on in. We're going to get to it just a second. I'll wait till a couple more people get in, and then we will get started. It won't take too much of your time. I know people have lots of plans today. Bluto, good morning. Happy Cinco de Mayo to you, my friend. Nice to have you in here. A couple more people, and then we'll get things kicked off. Hope you guys are having a fabulous weekend. It's cloudy but bright out today in Denver. I think we're going to have, let me check the weather for you guys. Let's see what's going on in the Mile High City. We got, oh shit, it's going to be 77 and a bit windy today. So beautiful day in the Mile High City, if windy. Not too big of a fan of the wind, but I can deal with 77. That's almost perfect. You guys got any plans for Cinco de Mayo? Maybe have a little taco bar, grill, something of that nature. It's kind of the kickoff for the whole shebang, the whole summer. That's kind of how I view Cinco de Mayo. It's like to me, it's just kind of the beginning of the whole summer thing. All right, might as well get started. I know more people will be in there in just a minute, so let me hit you with some intro music, and then we'll get going, because I don't want to keep you guys too long. Good morning, everybody. It's the 5th of May, Cinco de Mayo. This is a special Sunday edition. I didn't get to it yesterday. Welcome on in, everybody. I see Susan P, King Bluto, Dip Me in Glitter, good morning, and Miss Sunrise Dawn. You sound like you just woke up, Bluto says. I woke up not too long ago, but I wanted to get this in because I know people are going to be going live and they'll just swallow my show. I mean, that's how it goes. So I try to get up as early as I can and do this for you guys. North Georgia, Miss Sunrise Dawn, what's up? Nice to have you here. We're gonna go ahead and let me transition on over here. We're gonna go ahead and get started here. We'll start at the bottom here and go through the comments. I've had a lot of thoughtful comments. I don't think I had too much hate this week, which is welcome. I made a post saying, peak Denver weather. It was raining in the morning, followed by a huge snowfall. It was so weird. I mean, I don't mind the rain. Snow sucks, though. Kimberly says, thanks, MLH. I still have family up there, cold and drizzling in Trinidad. I wish you a pleasant day. I mean, it's always a pleasant day, or usually a pleasant day in Denver. So, I mean, it wasn't too big of a deal. It snowed for about, 30 minutes, really heavy, and then it just stopped. That's just Colorado weather for you. Ooh, Susan P, welcome. Nice to. Oh, thank you for the gifted memberships, Susan P. I really appreciate that. I'm sure those people, when they come back in, will be very surprised. Really appreciate that. And you know what? You just put me over the top to do a new emoji, Susan. So if you have a suggestion for the new emoji, just let me know, and I will get it in there. Try to make it channel centric. You know what I mean? But Kimberly, thank you for your comment. Really appreciate that. Let's go on to Kip's comment on the same post. Sounds like a good day to chill to me. It was a good day to chill, although I never really chill. Except for yesterday. I'll talk a little bit about that after we get through the comments here. Cubana Chica, welcome. Nice to have you here. Buen dia from Cuba. Beautiful sunny day here. Yeah, usually that's the case in Cuba, right? Blue Unicorn says, hey, if you don't like the weather, just wait for 5-10 minutes. It'll be fine. That's Colorado weather for you, Blue Unicorn. That's certainly the case. I did another kind of silly post, and it was basically about Nance Drew and her whole boobgate situation where Chadwick, I don't know if he never had the pleasure of touching a boob, but he brushed up against Nance, and that whole saga. But I did a poll, getting arrested because your boob brushed up against someone, and there were 4 choices, and I just thought it was a fun little thing to do. But Liberty says, all of the above, literally. The chat last night gave me some of the biggest belly laughs I've had in a while. It was silly. And then Keith said the same. It was such a silly thing to, arrest Nance Drew for that. That was just stupidly ridiculous. Yeah. So let's continue on here. Anna from Italy says hilarious and insane are possible options. Yes. Can you imagine? That case will never go to court. It's so embarrassing for the police. I mean, those officers should be ashamed of themselves. They were laughing. They were smiling when they were arresting her. I was like, geez, this is the stupidest arrest I've ever seen in my life. And, I can't wait till they drop those charges because I'm usually right about these things. So, yeah. Wow. Okay, let's continue on. Same poll. Lois says only a small little man would make that a crime, but that's policing in an acorn, and that's exactly right. I mean, cops usually make the wrong choice when they have discretion, right? They're supposedly. I mean, if I was a cop and someone told me, "Oh, she hit me with her boob," what do you? Do you think I would arrest? I think I would laugh in that person's face. It's just so stupid and ludicrous, so weird. I just, arrest by boob. What do they call that? Assault. By boob assault. And then I think I was in someone's chat. I can't remember who. Maybe Nance's. And I put around these parts. That's called a good time. I don't know, man. I just thought it was the stupidest thing. Make stupid people famous says unlucky. Well, Nance was definitely unlucky. So yes, I agree with that. Groovy Witch says historic. The saying goes, well-behaved women rarely make history. Nance and her boobs are historic. That's another way of looking at it, Groovy Witch. I didn't think about that, but yes. What do we got here? Cubana says, not only stupid, but did additional damage to her shoulders. Yes, so there is a seriousness about that too, right, Cubana? Honestly, what kind of damage can you do with your boob? I know, King Pluto, it was one of the stupidest arrests I think I've ever seen. Good morning, Fab Daddy. Nice to have you in here, bud. Really appreciate you. I hope you're ready for a hot tub tonight. It's gonna be It's going to be wild on Bernie's channel, 9 Eastern. Shameless plug. All right. Reese says, I like the booby trap jokes. Oh, man. People were having such a fun time with that. It was amazing. It was fun. It was harrowing. It was all of the above. It was just weird. I mean, so weird. Pippi says, it's outrageous. It was outrageous. That's another way of just another adjective of describing it. Alan B., welcome, man. Nice to have you here. Serenity Now, welcome. Nice to have you here as well. We're continuing on with the comment show, special Cinco de Mayo edition. I didn't get to it yesterday. I had so much stuff to do yesterday. But I didn't have so much stuff to do yesterday, and I'll talk about it in a minute. Dennison says, a sign you need to hit the gym. See, I think Dennison was assuming that I was the one that was hitting people with my boobs, but that wasn't the case. No, that's not a sign that you need to hit the gym, Dennison. You got to watch Nance Drew's ridiculous arrest. It was crazy and stupid and all of the above. They unsubbed you, Serenity? Well, I don't know what to say. It's just something else. Serenity, YouTube just has a mind of its own. Blue Unicorn at 7:30 in the goddamn morning. I know, Blue Unicorn. I got to get it in because other people are gonna go live and just swallow my channel whole. So, Nance's stream that night while we were waiting for her to get out was hilarious. Boob jokes were everywhere. It was. I was there. It's sunrise dawn. It was funny but depressing at the same time. I'm going to bed. Thought I'd say hi. Okay, Blue Unicorn. Thank you for stopping by, buddy. I really appreciate it. 6:30. I know, Pluto. It is early. Sorry, guys. If I don't do it now, like I said, it'll just this show will get swallowed, and nobody will see it. So I thought I'd get the jump on everybody. Cufa85 says, the one guy looks like Chad from the library. This is my old Beavis and Butthead try to kick us out of City Hall video. If you guys haven't seen that, it's pretty fun. There was some results from that. One of the security guards got fired, and the HR lady that we were talking to got fired too. And it's not something that we requested. They just did it on their own. So, King Bluto on that poll about boobs brushing up on people says all of the above with some shark emojis. Yeah, I mean, it was just weird. I just whatever. Nance just needs to get those boobs under control. I know, Susan P. You just get them under control. What the hell's wrong with her? There's no problem with that at all. No apologies necessary. I just messed around with Blue Unicorn. Yeah. I know. Quit being a wuss, Blue Unicorn. That's what you're saying, I think, King Bluto. All right, let's continue on. Corwood80 says, room raid from MLH. And I thought this was weird, Corwood, because a room raid, you're supposed to go to other people and say, this is a room raid, not my room, and say it's a room raid from myself. But thank you for the comment nonetheless. I really appreciate it. Bluto again. Bluto, you're showing up strong today, man. I can't remember. It was the Defender of Denver video. There was something I said in there, and you said, no, don't do that. You don't want to damage the shark. It's not a good thing. Yeah, I never want to damage the shark. I mean, there's going to be nicks and scratches and, stuff like that. I mean, it's just the way it is when you own a car. You can't keep it perfect all the time, especially if you're driving it all the time. But I hear you, King Bluto. Same video, Quiztology says, thanks for all that you do for the community. Thank you for watching, Quiztology. It means a lot for you guys to watch. It means a lot to be a member on the channel. It means a lot to just be in the channel and hitting the like button, all that good fun stuff. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I do appreciate the members too. I'm going to do a members only stream very soon. I've got a really cool idea for you guys, something a little bit different. Not stressful. It's not going to be a stressful stream. You said you almost got into an. Oh yeah, I did almost get into an oxy. I remember now. King Bluto, thank you for reminding me. Room raids are always fun. Yes, they're fun. And after this, I already know who we're gonna room raid, but we got a ways to go. I don't want you guys leaving just yet. Let's continue on. Susan P, have you thought of an emoji that I could use since you put me over the top for a new emoji, putting me to work? And welcome to the chat. Nice to have you in here. Good morning. Pallone, one of the OG subscribers, says, congrats on your Nuggets. Yeah, the Nuggets beat the Lakers in the first round, but Pallone, they lost the first game in the second round. I'm not too happy about that, but you know, we'll get back up there. We'll win that series, you know. Keeper of the List says, ooh, new Suno song, Defender of Denver. God, people have been going wild with those AI songs. They're a lot of fun. But I have my doubts about doubts about AI. I'm sure we could have a wicked discussion on that. I have plenty of thoughts on that. Sweet Sunslice chiming in with DOD or Batman. I mean, those are two labels that I've people have for me. Defender of Denver, Batman of Denver, all kinds of stuff, but really fun. Bluto again with the new emojis. Guess he needs of the new ones, the new emojis. You know what? I added two before. One was like long hair, and then the other one was a pot leaf, but YouTube did not approve of that. So, sloths. Ooh, okay, Susan, that's a good one. I will consider that, and after this, I will look up a really cool sloth emoji just for you, since you put me over the edge. Cajun Randy, nice to have you in here. John Eagle, welcome. Nice to have you here as well, buddy. Is this the finals? Are they still in the playoffs? Yes, they're still in the playoffs. It's the second round. It's not even close. So it's going to be a battle this round with the Minnesota Timberwolves, Bluto. So, Evil Blue Eye. Okay, so this is a post that I put. I took Bernie to work, and I was hungry. So, McDonald's is kind of near where Bernie works. So I'm like, haven't been there in a little while. I don't want to mess around, spending a ton of money and going around town looking for a place to eat. So I just decided to nestle in there. And it was just it was surreal. Like there was a couple of people in there, like a couple homeless people, but the whole place was just felt sterile and just like so unfriendly and I mean a big change from when I was a kid. You'd go into McDonald's and it was very vibrant and it was alive, and there was a kids section, and parents with kids would go there, and the rest of it just looked so bright and airy. And now it's just the complete opposite. It feels like a prison cell. And I was sitting there, after I ordered from a kiosk, which there are some advantages to kiosk, which I'll talk about in a minute. But I just felt alone. I felt sad. I felt down. It was just so weird to sit there, and I was like, I'm eating by myself at a McDonald's with basically no people in it. It was a surreal feeling, and I didn't like it too much, So that's what that post was about. And Evil Blue Eye says, I too am very overwhelmed. I've been spreading awareness about where and what companies are really teaching AI, connecting them to the Pentecostal churches to keep track of people in their cults is how I'm taking it. That's an interesting take, Evil Blue Eye. I'd like to delve more into that, but if you want, email me some more info about what you're finding, and I don't think you're too far off, to be honest with you. Miss Sunrise Dawn, let's see, says, well, I mean, we haven't ever seen you and Batman in the same room together, just saying. Well, I mean, I'm not going to either confirm or deny that, Miss Sunrise Dawn. So, come to your own conclusions, you know. Cubana says, and expensive for greasy, crappy food. Yeah, I mean, you know, it serves its purpose. You know, I mean, it's not totally the worst thing I've ever eaten, but it's not, you know, something I would prefer to eat every single day or anything, you know. But I don't know, just the feeling, more than the food, right, was just the feeling of sitting there. And I was just like, man, and that's why, like, I wrote that post right then and there. I'm like, I gotta get this out, you know. All right, Lone Dinosaur says, I feel this too. You go to the grocery store and all the checkers are being replaced with machines. Sure, it's convenient and I can be my natural introvert self, but mostly it makes me sad for our future. I worry about the lack of human interaction, and I also worry about our jobs being replaced by AI and computers. It's scary, but you described it best. It leaves a sterile and lonely feeling. It's not fun, just like it looked in the Jetsons. That's a spot on, Lone Dinosaur, and that's the point I was trying to get across. It just, you know, not so much. I wasn't making a political statement or anything of that nature, you know, because AI has its place and it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. We're just going to have to accept it. But the problem is it's just sterile and lonely and sad, and those, you know, people need other people, whether we believe it or not. You know, we're you know, kind of a species that needs that interaction with our own. You know, there's lots of animals on the planet that are the same way. They need that social interaction, otherwise they just don't survive. And we are the same way. We need other people to connect with and to, you know, even if it's not on a personal basis, just to have around. And I don't know, it was just an overarching point that I was trying to get across, rather than, you know, any type of political statement or anything. But you know, once in a while I do splurge on nuggies and a Big Mac. I think the kiosks are just lonely. They are, Dip Me and Glitter, but they do serve their purpose, and I have a comment coming up, and we'll discuss that as well. A lot of this stuff stems from the pandemic when we had the lockdowns. That is true, King Bluto. People were never more depressed than during the lockdowns. It was horrible to not, you know, be able to go and interact and talk with your friends or family or stuff of that nature. It was just an extraordinary period of life in the United States, right? And by the way, the numbers are still about the same. So COVID is just it's like the new flu, right? I mean, it's just going to be here to stay. We're going to have to get booster shots, whatever, or not, depending on your stance on things. But I don't know. It's just one of those things. So let's continue on. Thank you, Lone Dinosaur, for the comment. Dragonette chimed in. I agree with you. I'm attempting to get over the social anxiety I have. Cell devices alienate humans. No one calls because of texting. Families have grown apart. Thanks, MLH. Yeah, it is that way, Dragonette, and it's a shame. You know, I was sitting on the porch with Bernie one night, and we both had our phones. And we were looking at our phones, and I turned to Bernie and I said, what are we doing? Why don't we just put our phone down and just talk? You know, I mean, I think I'd rather do that sometimes. You know, yes, there's games on your mobile device. There's, you know, there's any number of social media things to do on there. There's, I mean, you could do so much with the phone, and I do a lot with my phone, you know, smartphone. But sometimes you just have to put it down, you know, and talk. It is that, you know, that way. We need people to exist, Dip Me and Glitter says. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Dip Me and Glitter. It's the way it is. All right, let's continue on. Same post. Amy M, speaking of the lockdown, it's sad the lockdown from that C word. You can say it. Don't worry, Amy M. You can say it on this channel. I don't have a problem. The coronavirus. You know, my 16-year-old daughter would rather bring food home from the restaurant instead of sitting in the restaurant around others. And that's That's sad. It is sad to hear. But thank you for your comment, Amy. I appreciate it. DM689 says, I agree, but it seems they keep doing away with it and any social entertainment. Really sad. The new norm is just to connect with others on social media, like YouTube or Twitter or, I don't know, Snapchat or TikTok or Instagram or whatever. Facebook, another one. But we still need to talk to people, like Dip Me and Glitter said. It's just the way that it is. King Bluto agrees with you, Dip Me. I went to dinner one night with a friend, and she spent the whole time on the phone. Shut it off already. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like if you get invited to dinner and somebody's on their damn phone, like, come on, what the hell? I mean, you're here to interact with me, right? Not your phone. It's stupid. I don't know. Maybe I'm old school. Maybe life has passed me by. What do you guys think? Replay crew, what do you think? Has life passed me by? Jamie Todd says, it started with automated recordings that answer phone calls. And as you may or may not realize, these things originate from big cities. Well, of course they originate from big cities, Jamie Todd. That's not, relevatory. Also, why people can live in cities and feel utterly alone. It's only that I agree with. That part I agree with. It's only part of the plan from the people in power. You probably still haven't researched Operation Mockingbird. I did research Operation Mockingbird, Jamie. It's interesting. And I agree with parts and it's just like any other theory, or operation, as you put it, Jamie Todd. But thank you for the comment, Jamie. You're always insightful, and I do appreciate your comments. Seriously Enjoy says, simple answer, put down our phones, and for fuck's sake, don't let your kiddos have them until they're through puberty and not in their rooms when they're supposed to be actually sleeping, and shop local small shops and restaurants. That's I couldn't have said it better, Enjoy, but problem is there's always parents that are at odds. I know me and my ex fought about giving my son a phone at the age of, I think he was 12 at the time. I'm like, no, absolutely not. I was adamant against it, because there was no need. And then the thing kept up. My ex kept up with, what about an emergency? And then I said, well, what about when we were kids? Do we have a phone? No, you went to a payphone or something, or if that, you always knew where your kids were, at least my parents did. I mean, fuck. I mean, where do we draw the line? I don't know. It's just such a weird thing. But Dragonette, welcome. Dempsey, welcome. Thank you for dropping by, Dempsey. I really appreciate that. Just be careful. YouTube, I think, still has a problem with them using that word. No, I think they've since the CDC dropped their nonsense, Bluto. I think YouTube's okay with it. No issues there. I think 12 out of 13 is fine. 12 to 13 is fine for a cell phone. Really? I don't know, Dempsey. I think a little bit older. I think 15, 16. But who am I to say? My son had a cell phone at 13 because, what say did I have in anything? Bleebits, welcome. Nice to have you here. Cat's out of the bag, Alan B says. Yeah, I think so. Let's continue on. Speaking of Alan B, he chimed in. He said, interesting. I think the way the channel has grown with no fighting sometimes and a safe place for communicating with the outside world. All the best. There is that too. I mean, we do communicate through YouTube and other things. So that who am I? I mean, social media I think is great. But I think there is time to interact with humans, especially if you have friends and family in your area. It doesn't always have to be over the phone, Jody Q says, and the self-checkouts, less employees everywhere. Although I did notice, Jody Q, good point, but I did notice that at Walmart's, they're shutting down the self-checkouts for a reason, because people are stealing a lot of product that way. And, that's why Walmart is trying to check everybody's receipts, which I don't buy into that. I don't show my receipts. I'm like, if anybody ever asks me for receipts, if you think I stole something, call the cops. Now, I don't steal anything, but the point is there. If you really want to check my receipt, call the cops, because I refuse to show you. It's just one of my things. Car Thief News chimes in. Couldn't have said it better. I'm not necessarily a social butterfly, but I do, in fact, have a need for a healthy interaction. AI is of the enemy, whatever you perceive the enemy to be. No doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Strive to be happy. MLH. Thank you. Thank you, Karthi, for that very thoughtful comment. I have my own thoughts about AI, and that'll be for a different stream. I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Ex Machina, but if that movie doesn't send chills up your spine at the end, I don't know what will. But we'll have a discussion on it. I'll have a panel. Because this channel does a lot of things. We like to have contemplative discussions and things of that nature too. So, Cubana says, a friend had a phone for her son that only allowed calls to her. Ooh, that's a good idea. King Pluto says we would go outside and play, not locked up in our bedroom on our phones or playing video games. I'm not going to lie, King Pluto. I did both. I played outside and I did play a lot of video games. But at least I played outside. Nowadays nobody plays outside. I mean, you go to parks and they're, not very full anymore. Not like they used to be. So that's eaten into. It's a good point, Pluto. A lot of kids nowadays are just playing video games, and the video games right now are just insanely cool and good, and they've come a long way. Dempsey says phones are a way for youth to communicate with each other. I think, yeah, I understand that, Dempsey, but it's really hard to parentally control. You know what I mean? So that's I don't know. I don't disagree with you. I mean, who am I? My son had a phone at 13. I think my daughter might have had one at that age too. So, let's see. No, I don't think it's a fake one. Brittany Presley, welcome. Nice to have you here. Timu Dempsey. I love that. Later, Cubana, I really appreciate you being in here. Thanks for stopping by. All right, continuing on. Ange Q says, I do enjoy certain things about technology, as do I, but I don't like that people lose a job over AI or any machines, like a self-checkout at a grocery store or Walmart. Now that idea of self-checkout is turning against them. People are stealing at the checkout, scanning a vegetable and getting a free TV. Yeah, I touched on that, Ange Q. That's why a lot of the Walmarts now, they're closing down their self-checkouts, and because it hurts them in the pocketbook. I mean, on the surface it seems great, right? We have you do our job, right? I.e., check yourself out, but it's kind of biting them, and good. Fuck them. Especially Walmart. Ice to Sea says, yes, it's very sad. I've noticed a lot of celebrity news channels regarding Diddy, etc. are AI. I usually don't care about celebrity news, yet the celebrity abuse is disturbing. I think we all have to get out in nature more. I agree with you, Ice to Sea. And that's a good test case there. There's so much news. I mean, Bernie has TikTok. I don't have a TikTok, but she every day she's like, oh, did you know so and so died? I was like, well, did you check to make sure that that's true? Because the AI is making up shit all the time, and they go further. They make videos and pictures, and it's just insane the amount of fake news, if you will, that comes through. Cyberbullying, yep, that's wild. I agree. Let's see. I remember cordless phones. So nice to shut the door. Freaking cords never allowed privacy. Yeah, you remember you took the cord around the corner or something, Fab Daddy. Sometimes you could get away with closing the door over the cord and stuff like that. I remember that. Before, Alan B says, we had to get counterfeit VHS tapes. Oh, I know, Alan B. I mean, it's crazy. Come a long way. Susie SP Squirrel, sorry. I'm still traumatized by the food delivery robots I see in LA. When I told my kids, they didn't believe me. Thankfully, William Good makes funny videos with them. Yeah, those things are crazy too. I mean, anyways, I'll definitely talk about this because I find AI very fascinating and very, very scary. But I think it's the end of us, to be honest with you. I think we talk about consciousness and all that. You don't need consciousness to be a factor in our demise. Jonathan Mazzilli says, all the people where you at. I agree. Totally agree with that, Jonathan. Hank Baum says, I think this is, oh, no, it's not the big one. I insist on humans try to go to the checkout line manned by a cashier rather than self-serve kiosk to show stores they need to keep hiring humans, not robots. I don't carry a cell phone most days of the week, and on rare occasions I do, not in my hand. I also don't allow my job access to me by text, cell, or email for things they can tell me while I'm there in person. I do no social media other than YouTube, and I make phone calls from my landline. You still have a landline, Hank Baum? It's a rarity, but point taken for sure. Okay, Psych on the Rocks. Here's the opposing viewpoint to this whole thing, and it's super interesting. I want you guys to pay attention to this comment because it's the opposite of what we've been talking about, right? And Psych on the Rocks says, as someone who's on the spectrum, it takes me a long time to order. It's triggering when people rush me. I end up messing everything up, getting confused, and starting to sweat. So I really like the machines in McDonald's. The first time I saw them, I got so excited. It made me feel more comfortable and not in a hurry to get out of the building. I feel like a brother to everyone. A bother to everyone because it takes me a little extra time to fully understand everything going on around me. So when I'm in public, I'm usually rushing myself within reason since I can't move too fast. I have a couple dozen blackouts every day, so I have to be careful. I'm rambling. Oh well, YouTube and my caregiver are my only friends. Well, Psych on the Rocks, I'm here to tell you that you have me as a friend, and you have all of the wonderful Monster Squad as a friend as well. So I want you to always feel comfortable in there. You will never be harassed, bullied, rushed, anything. But your point is well taken here, and this is the opposite of what we've been talking about. I think you're in the minority, Psych, but I am happy that it gives you a sense of comfort, I mean, I think that's the wonderful part of machinery and robots and stuff. There are uses for it, and this is one of them. Here I am rambling about how cold and what an empty feeling I have, and you have the opposite feeling because you felt that way before. So I think it's good for you, and I appreciate the comment, and it's a refreshing take and a well thought out comment on that view. So for sure. Eileen responds to her, says, I'm sorry you feel like you have to rush. You can make friends here if that's something you would like to do. Wishing you the best. Just what I said, Eileen, right? Chris on the drums says, nowadays most chain and fast food restaurants have apps that allow you to place your order. So don't be afraid to download them if you think it will help, especially if you go into a place without one of the machine ordering systems. This is where you can use technology to your benefit. An additional benefit is many of these restaurants give app-only discounts, specials to encourage people to use their apps. Spot on, Chris. That's another great point. You hit the nail on the head there. This is the opposite viewpoint, right, of what I was making. I was just making the observation, just sitting in a restaurant that's so cold and sterile to me is I don't necessarily have a problem ordering from a kiosk, because a lot of times, people can be grumpy, especially in the morning. You're just waking up, haven't had your coffee, etc. But I think Psych on the Rocks is spot on. And thank you for that advice, Chris. That's really helpful. And Psych, like I said, you do have friends here, and people that care. And I hope you feel that way on my channel, because that's how I try to come across. I give people my email. I encourage people to talk to me. I might not always get to it, super snappy, but I always get back to everybody in email form if they email me. Unless your parents put a 25-foot cord on your phone to where you can take it into your bedroom. That's right, King Bluto. I can't stand the self-checkouts. I'd rather go to a checker instead of trying to navigate those self-checkout kiosks. I love self-checkouts. I avoid the social interactions in public. There is something to that too, Dempsey. It's not all doom and gloom. It's some people don't like to interact with others, and that's fine too. There are opposing viewpoints to this. My whole point was just, I remember like when I was younger, going into maybe a McDonald's or something, and even if you didn't talk to your neighbors or whatever, there were just people there, and just to hear the sound of other people talking, and because I'm kind of that way, like, it takes a little while, like I'm not the most, happiest of people. I'm the opposite of Bernie. Anytime Bernie sees somebody, she will give him a big old hug. She'll introduce herself. I mean, she's a social butterfly, right? And I'm kind of the opposite, but still, even I understand that even hearing other people is a big thing. Pippi says, I really think this generation is more into texting and playing on their phones. It's the way they know how to communicate. No, that is true. And I'm not one of these get off my lawn guys that just is shaking my fist at the clouds. I'm getting older, all that. I realize that technology is just ever changing, and that's just the way it is. Lisa's Day Off says, I agree. Cell phones are the bane of our existence. As I sit here on mine, going to F Sciento to use my phone there. Yeah, I know. It's a weird dichotomy. Lisa's Day Off. It's you hate them but you love them at the same time. I go through the same thing. Eileen Polycross says, I agree with you. Yeah. I it's just the social thing. It's not that these things are inherently evil or anything like that. It's just circumstance. But like I said, I'll have a discussion on AI at some point. Also look on the bright side of machines. Yeah. I love my chat friends, Dempsey says. I do too, Dempsey. I love all of you guys. I love seeing you guys in other chats and interacting with you all. Dip Me in Glitter says, I will do both depending on my mood. Again, I think we all need human interaction in some way. I agree. I totally agree with you. Dude, play on the slide in the kids area. The ball pit will do you some good, Keeper says. That's just the thing. They've taken all that out, Keeper. It's not like when I was a kid, like it was such a joy to go to a McDonald's, right? You'd see all the colorful, seats. I remember when I was growing up, there was seats that looked like the Hamburglar or Grimace or Ronald McDonald, stuff like that. Just fun stuff. And then they had the ball pit, and which gross on the ball pit now, but you know what I'm saying. It was fun when you were a kid. The slide, all that stuff. They've taken it away from most McDonald's. So even if you're a kid, like, what joy is it? They put in kiosk with games on it. I guess they like that, but I mean, whatever. I also agree with you wholeheartedly. Karen Johnson says, Harry Nutt says, I never use self-checkouts. I'm a bullshitter. I know, Harry. I'm that way too. If I'm not in a hurry, which I'm always in a hurry, it seems like, I always go to somebody, Andrew B says, it's so strange that we can all be connected over these vast distances with so many people, yet feel so alone when we are out in the world. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, I love the internet. It's fascinating. You can connect with people all over the world, right? But then you get out, and like I was there, and it was just such a feeling of solitude, and not in a good way. It was just, I felt isolated. That's why I wrote the post. I give you guys the true feelings, my true feelings, King Bluto says they didn't have any of that when I was a kid at McDonald's. Really, King Bluto? How old are you? Antics of a Mama Squirrel says, "Aw, I want to give you a hug." Thank you, Antics. I could have used one that day, man. I'm telling you, it was sad. It was, I didn't tear up, but I was on the verge. I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm sitting here in a McDonald's by myself, and I'm literally alone. I'm eating my food, and it was just it was the saddest little thing. I don't know. I can't explain it. Yay says cool on my Defender of Denver video. Thank you, Yay. Great name, by the way. Kevin Jones says on the McDonald's post, "This is an automated response generated by AI. I hope you feel better. Good day." End comment. Kevin Jones, thank you for that. That's really good. I love it. Really funny. Eloise on the same post says, "You are so right. Wow, it's just so different now. Be careful." I'm always careful, Eloise. Always careful. A kid's meal was under $1 back then. Yeah, it was. I remember that, Fab Daddy. Whew. Roller Coaster Line Production says left-wing foolishness demanding $15 an hour in fast food did that. No. See, here's the thing. I didn't want to get political on this at all. It was just, it's not a left-wing right thing, and it's definitely not a $15 an hour thing. These companies have taken advantage of employees for so long. Roller Coaster. Two things can be true at the same time, right? Like they could get away with not paying people honest wages, and I can tell you from experience, my first job was at McDonald's. It's not an easy job. It's not just a teen job, right? There are people of all ages that work there, and it's it's how can I put this? It's honest work. It's brow sweating work. So the minimum wage thing, I think, should have been done a long time ago. We should all be making minimum right now, if it kept up with inflation, $22 an hour. So McDonald's is one of the few places that's willing to pay a little bit more money. Groovy Witch says, totally agree. Everyone has their faces in their phone. It's progressively getting worse. I don't mind the technology, but when that technology overwhelms everything and everything everybody does, that's an issue. Unindoctrinated, I don't know if I said hi to you, but welcome on into chat. There's still a few McD's and Chick-fil-A's with play areas here. Wow, that's few and far between, unindoctrinated, but that's good. I think that's a good thing. Hopefully your sadness has eased. It's a good topic to discuss. I'm 69 years old, and my friends and I have noticed and felt these feelings, NJS says. Yes, it does isolate you, especially if you're not hip to the game, so to speak. You're not a young person with all these TikToks and Instagrams and all this stuff, No Carb in the Universe says, my job went to a work from home position. While I'm grateful I was not affected over the years, I miss the day-to-day interactions. I find reason to leave the house after work every day. I think I hit the grocery store 4 times a week. See? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the feeling. Thank you for the comment. This is a really long one. Chris on the drums. Let's see if I can get through it. Just for you, Chris. I agree with you, but I'm afraid those days are gone and are only going to get worse as AI technology improves. Companies' bottom line is taking in as much profit as it can, and salaries, wages are its biggest expense. So if it can be replaced by robots and AI, company will almost always choose it over people. The only way I think we can combat this is we start treating internet and social media usage as an addiction, and almost everyone is addicted regardless of whether they want to admit it or not. How many of us can be 100% honest here and say, I can lock my cell phone and computer away for a day and not give a single thought about checking my Facebook, Snapchat, IG, Twitter, whatever social media, email, their news site of choice, YouTube, dating apps if they're single, etc. Now is the one day. How many could I go? A week? And by the end of that day or week, how many would be clawing away to hurry up and get to their devices so they could reconnect? I'm afraid this is a sickness. We even have social media companies like Facebook who have admitted they have spent millions on psychological studies to learn how to make their technology more addictive to keep you engaged as much as possible. For anyone who hasn't seen it yet, I highly encourage you to watch the movie The Social Dilemma on Netflix. It talks about this very thing and how technology companies are exploiting their users for engagement and data mining. There's no doubt about it. There's nothing that you said there, Chris, that I disagree with. I couldn't agree with you more, actually. So what do we do? I'm with you. Everybody's addicted, right? I have to look at emails. I have to look at YouTube. I have to. I don't have Instagram, or I try to stay away from the rest of it. So I think I'm ahead of the curve in that way. But you're right. Like emails, YouTube. I do have a Facebook account, but I'm never on there. Never, because I know how it is. I know what Facebook does with the data mining, etc. It's crazy. Al SoCal with the emojis. Thank you, Al. Appreciate it. By the way, Chris, that was a very thoughtful comment, and thank you. I appreciate it. Jamie Todd says, I only see one new emoji because I was so proud of myself. I made 2 new emojis, but YouTube rejected one of my emojis. It was a pot leaf. They rejected the cannabis leaf, which I don't understand. Maybe once weed gets to off the schedule, then they'll allow the pot emoji. It was really cool too. It's really vibrant, and I was pretty proud of it. But I replaced it with the Jamie. Just to let you know, I replaced it with the bullhorn that you guys see there now. So if you're a member, you could use those emojis. Only $3 a month. I've seen the tiers that YouTube has for people for memberships, and I don't agree with the tiers. It's just going to be one tier, $3 a month, $36 a year. Super simple, Brick Mama's in the house. What's up? Good morning, Brick Mama. Nice to have you here. Many people of various ages relied on that work at Mickey D's. Yes, they did. Richard Fulmer, I hate the self-checkouts also. Good morning, Richard. Thanks for being in here. And McDonald's has computer terminals to order an app to pick up near us. Brick Mama, like many years ago, I almost won the golden spatula at McDonald's. I got Employee of the Month one time. They gave me a little day planner, I think it was tiny. I wish I could have got a raise. That would have helped. I think at the time I was making like $4.25 an hour or some shit. Yeah, it's aging myself here. Pallone on our courthouse video. You guys got to check out the Aurora courthouse video because it was interesting for many reasons. Get him, MLH and KDOT. Yes, we did. We went after it that day. You guys got to check out that video, the courthouse video. Jamie Todd says it was a banger. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate that. It was a banger. It was a great video, and we proved our point there. You guys are just gonna have to check it out. Keeper with the MLH emoji. Thank you. And then on the poll with the boob gate thing, Bernie never brushed up against me. Keeper says, thank you, Keeper. Appreciate that. Hold on, I need to get something to drink. I'm getting a little parched. Give me a second here. Okay. Calamar says, I think you are wonderful, MLH from New Zealand. Well, thank you, Calamar. I think you are wonderful as well as everybody else. I think the Monster Squad is strong. It's only getting stronger. You guys realize I'm almost up to 7,000 people that have subscribed? It's just mind-boggling to me. I'm very, very humble with it. I appreciate it. Morning, MLH. Much love and light. Thank you, Brick Mama. I appreciate that. Holly Lewis with some emojis on my You Can Help Scientologists Leave video. That was an interesting video. I typed. I'm in the social media zone, guys. I chalked everybody's in chat that came in. It was probably 60 people that day. I chalked all of you guys' names on the sidewalk, and I'm glad the replay crew had a chance to check it out. It was an amazing day, and I had a lot of fun doing it, even though I'm still feeling the effects of it. All the squats I did, my legs are still kind of mushy from it. Aaron Hickey says that guy was so dismissive and disrespectful to MLH. You're talking about the chief marshal at the courthouse, Aaron Hickey, and yes, he was. You guys got to check out that video. I mean, he wouldn't even talk to me. He would only talk to KDOT. That guy hated me. You could see it. He just would not speak to me at all, which I did felt was very disrespectful. Unindoctrinated, who's in chat, thank you for being here, Unindoctrinated. I appreciate your modship. You do a great job. Said very nice, MLH, on the You Can Leave Scientology video. I thought it was a great video. I'm very proud of it. Stay Spiria, my horror buddy, says excellent hat on my Nightmare on Elm Street hat short. Yeah, I should do shorts of all my hats, because I have a ton of hats. They're all horror, or mostly horror related ones, and I'm very proud of my collection. And I usually have a shirt to match, even though you guys don't see it because I have the vest on. I usually have a matching shirt, Stay Spiria, so little fun fact there. After 5 years of Mickey D's, promoted through trainer and shift manager, opening closing store, my pay only changed $1.85 in 5 years. It's a lot different now, Brick Mama. I was noticing I mean, you could be making right away like $18 an hour here, like just as a crew member, and they do have a path. I know that path, shift manager, whatever, all the way up to general manager. But within no time, you could be making like $21, $22 an hour there. So it's not a bad proposition to work at McDonald's if you can find that job, because they're going more automated, less and less people. But I mean, if you can find yourself a job there, it's not a bad gig. I mean, you work hard for sure. Mary Makes Originals on my McDonald's post says, this is what society is calling progress, unfortunately. I saw a very awesome video with Mike Rowe, which has a super take on this exact issue, and may surprise you. I'll see if I can find it and email it to you. And Mary Makes Originals, you did email that to me, and I did watch it, and it was interesting. That Mike Rowe video, maybe I'll put that out there. Maybe I'll do a reaction video. I don't know. We'll see. But it was an interesting video, and thank you so much for emailing me. I do appreciate it. It's very thoughtful of you, and I appreciate it. So I did put out a post on the new bullhorn emoji, and TCD made very good use of it there. So thank you, TCD. Jamie Todd also made use of the emojis. Thank you, Jamie. The members get to use those emojis. Almost 7K. Fab Daddy, almost. We're not quite there yet. How is your back from all that stupid down and doing the chalk work? I'm a little sore, King Bluto, but look, I have to keep moving. If I don't move, then it gets worse. So I have to try at least to move quite a bit, Bluto. It's just the way it is. Especially with my diagnosis. Brick Mama says, I learned a lot about how to honor humans in all phases of their life. No regrets in the work. Definitely made me a better manager in my adult life. Yep, for sure. Evil Blue Eye. Oh, cool. You covered our comments. I do it every week, usually on Saturdays, Evil Blue Eye. Thank you for being in there. Good morning. I do try. Hit the like button if you haven't already, you guys. I know you guys are very good at that, so thank you for doing that. Brandon James says, hey man, I got a quick question for you. I live 3 to 4 hours from Charlotte, North Carolina. Scientology has a church there. I was wondering if you know anyone that protests the church in Charlotte. Brooke Elliott told me to come ask you. I don't personally know anybody in North Carolina, Brandon James, but I think I did tell you there's quite a. I know Florida's not too far from you. So maybe you could hook up with one of the Florida people, maybe make a day trip of it or something. Or maybe you could go down to Florida. Oh, I know you want to do Charlotte, Carolina. And I do commend you for seeking someone else to be out there with you, because I don't ever recommend going out by yourself. I know I'm kind of hypocritical because I'm always doing things by myself, but I mean, I'm an old hat at this, and until you get some experience under your belt, I highly recommend hooking up with somebody, and you have the right idea, Brandon James. I hope you find somebody. I think if you look on, there's a couple of websites that list all the Scientology protesters, and they're not coming to mind right offhand. I think Fluffer Squirrel has one, and there's another one out there, but you can kind of see who's in different areas. Maybe you'll be the first one out in North Carolina. I don't know. Nunya, making use of those emojis. Thank you very much, Nunya. You can catch Nunya tonight on Bernie's channel, Unindoctrinated. I don't know if you have Bernie's link handy, but if you want to please throw out the link for Bernie tonight. We're going to be doing Hot Tub at 9 Eastern, Hot Tub Time Machine. The song tonight's going to be Devil Went Down to Georgia, so I'm sure that's going to be a riot. You guys don't want to miss it. And it is 18 plus. It's more of an adult, thing. Robert McKay on the Smurf video that's garnered a lot of attention says, I do appreciate that these cops are not in full tactical gear and not covered in gang tats. I guess that's one thing to appreciate about that video, Robert McKay, but the rest of it, I don't know. Chiara Zona says, hello, missed your live. That's okay. Thanks for watching the replay, Chiara. Really appreciate that. And King Bluto, appropriately enough, is making full use of the bullhorn emoji. Thank you, King Bluto. I always appreciate your comments. You're always welcome in the chat. You've never done anything remotely bad or said anything remotely bad. You're a solid member, King Bluto. Thank you for being here. Let's see if we have any held for review comments this week. We do. You can't make this shit up. And the reason why this comment was held for review was because you used the word shit seriously and joy, and that's okay. I'm going to approve that because it's so minor. I just want to keep it to a minimum, to try to use symbols. You guys can say whatever you want, but YouTube's algorithm will eventually kick you off if there's too much bad words. So we just try to keep it, a little clean for the YouTube algorithm, so that way I don't get in any trouble. All right, let's see any hidden comments here. Jamie Todd says, no one likes my man boob touching that. Hairy nipples. I'm going to approve that, of course. MDK. Okay. I'm going to say this in Spanish, and I'll try to translate for you guys. Unless there's a translate button. Nope, no translation. Acabo de denunciar su video por acusar a las autoridades mientras intentaban hacer su trabajo y su deber civicio. No eres noble, eres solo otro fraud, pendejo. La calle está mirando. Okay, let me translate this for you. I've denounced this video, and I've reported it. Let's see. They're just doing their job and their duty. You're not noble. You're a fraud and stupid. The streets are watching. I'm going to go ahead and approve this, even though this was nasty comment, MDK. Try to do it in English next time if you can, so everybody else can understand it. I did my best at translating. Let me go through this, and I'm actually gonna delete this comment, MDK. I don't normally do that, but let me break it down for you. When you start using ad hominems against me, is where I draw the line. I'm not gonna take any of that shit anymore. You can criticize. I have no problems with you not liking the video, but thank you for watching nonetheless. You don't understand. I wasn't the one punching another human being. This lady put her hands on me, right? If she didn't have that badge and that gun, do you think she would have punched me? What do you think would have happened? Male or female, I don't care who you are. If you don't have a badge and a gun, I will punch you right in your face and knock you the fuck out. All right, I'm one of the quiet ones. Just remember that. So, yes, the streets are always watching, and I'm always watching the streets. It's a mirror, right? So, I'm not a proponent of violence. I'm a pacifist. I would rather not get into a fight, but it's always the quiet ones. So to call me stupid, nothing could be further from the truth, MDK. So watch your tone. I'm deleting this comment. Be better, okay? Try to be better. Be a better human being. Don't use ad hominems. It makes you look stupid. All right, let's delete that. Okay. All right, let's go to the mentions. I'm sure King Bluto mentioned me a time or two. Probably. Dragonette mentioned me. Cover up in Tennessee police station and lies. I haven't looked at that video, but I will, Dragonette. No worries. Old guy Mitch mentioned me. Quit jizzing in the hot tub. I love that song. It's pretty funny. Thanks for also putting the link for Bernie, old guy Mitch. That's fantastic. Fluffer Squirrel mentioned me. Let's see what the post was, and then we'll come back. It's that. There's the list right there. So there you go. There is a list. Fluffer's got a list. Horizon City mentioned me, and that's it. Okay. Thank you guys for the mentions. I really appreciate it. Let's transition back to that. Okay. Let's see if I missed any comments in the chat. From the UK, can the government in the US have free health insurance by paying a tax on the wages national insurance? Unfortunately not, Alan B. We're stuck with Obamacare, which actually was a Republican health insurance plan created by Mitt Romney that somehow morphed into Obamacare. And it's something I've been advocating for years. I think every other modern country has healthcare insurance. Even Mexico, as shitty as they are, has universal health care. And why the United States doesn't have it is beyond me. We have things like Medicaid, but the cost of medicines here is, outrageous here. And it's all due to greedy politicians. And I don't want to get too much into to a discussion on that, Alan, but because I could go all day on that. I'm very passionate about that. But, Unindoctrinated says, I'm in North Carolina. I looked that place up. It's a mission and looks like it's a neighborhood in a house. Wow. Join the hot tub at Bernie's channel. There's the link, everybody, if you want to sub to Bernie's channel and check us out tonight. And thank you for putting the membership link in there, Unindoctrinated. I appreciate that. Stems from Senator Ted Kennedy, and Senator Ted Kennedy was a Democrat. Actually, Bluto, if you look at the history, it was Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney created a health care bill that the Democrats took over because they didn't want to help the American people. When Obama had a supermajority, he could have did so many things. He could have codified Roe v. Wade, and we wouldn't be having all the chaos that we're having now in all the different cities and states. He could have passed universal health care. He could have passed so many things with the supermajority. It would blow your mind. Supermajority means supermajority. You can just get shit done. And he didn't get anything done, including fucking up the Supreme Court. So I hate it. And I just hate politics in general. But that's a different discussion for another day. Okay, so... what was I going to talk about? The whole AI discussion. I'm not going to do it here. I'll have a different panel on that. Maybe I might be on later today with KDOT because we need to celebrate a victory. I know I did a solo panel. A solo panel. That's such an oxymoron. I did a show where I was really happy about the police sign. The signs at the lobbies were with no recording were taken down. But I have to have KDOT for that discussion because we worked really, really diligently and hard to do that. And we're working on so many things. Here's why memberships and super chats and the money comes into play. I hate to talk about the money, guys, but the money does come into play for this reason. I just got done spending $173 on body cam footage, which ate up my next YouTube payment, which I haven't even received. I had to put it on credit. So that's why the memberships, and Susan P., thank you so much for gifting memberships. I really appreciate that. It means a lot, and it does help. Any super chats, PayPals, Cash Apps, anything of that nature does help me in order to secure things like body cam footage, reports. I'm always for the people and doing things for the people. So if you guys want the updates, then these things help. And I can't thank you enough. I see people in here like King Bluto, Alan B, everybody that shows love in that manner. I give it to you back in how I report and all those things. So every little bit helps, and even the comments and the likes help too. So if you can't afford anything, I do understand that times are tough. They're tough for me, and but I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. And thanks to all of you. I wouldn't even be able to do half of what I do without you guys doing what you do. So every little bit helps. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all of you guys. So I think that's going to be it for now. Let's after I get done with my speech, let's go ahead and head over to Windy City, or whoever's live. Unindoctrinated, who's live right now? I think Windy might be live. I want to do a smaller channel. Let me see. Let me look. You know what? Let's show Marilyn some love. Marilyn Honig, Coffee, Colts, and Crafts. Let's show her some love. I don't think we've ever rated... no, you know what? Let's do Windy. Windy City. Windy's only got... I say only, but let's do Windy City Thetan Watch. Let's rate there. But before you guys go, just remember... if you're struggling with your mental health, please reach out to somebody that you know, love, and trust. In lieu of that, my email is mexicanlonghair@gmail.com. Andrew B., I appreciate that. Broke as fuck, but try to help when I'm able. Thank you very much, Andrew B. That $2 means a lot. I'm going to give you a like there. Thank you. Reach out to somebody that you know, love, and trust. In lieu of that, my email is mexicanlonghair@gmail.com. I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist, or a counselor, but I do listen, and sometimes that helps. But if I don't get back to you in a timely fashion, just remember, somebody out there thinks you are their favorite. Hold on to that thought. It could save your life. There is a national hotline that works in Canada and in the United States. It's 988. If you dial that number, you'll get connected with a professional that can help you right away. Or if you are more comfortable with just texting that number, you can text that number as well. If you're not in the United States or Canada, just type in your browser of choice mental health help, and there are a variety of options there. Just click on any one of them, and you will get connected with somebody that can help you out. Don't do anything rash. Make sure you talk to somebody first. Email me. People love you. They care for you, even if you don't think so. Even if the world seems cold, and even if you're sitting at a McDonald's ordering from a kiosk and you're getting sad about things, there are alternatives. You can talk to people, all right? So with that, I hope you guys have a great Cinco de Mayo today. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with me here. Let's raid Windy City Thetans, Unindoctrinated, if you would not mind. I know you've been working overtime. Thank you so much for your contribution here, Unindoctrinated. You're fantastic. Let's go to Windy City and tell them that MLH sent you, the Monster Squad. And hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you over at Windy Cities. Thank you guys so much. Have a great one. See you over at Windy's. Later, everybody.